Going good. Recording is started and we are ready to roll. And so just like it said behind me there, you are almost there and it doesn't get much closer. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of the class. That is an awesome thing. Give yourselves a round of applause there. And so we are going to jump right into this. And so right there, class ends tomorrow, 10 p.m. Make sure that attendance assignment is in. I am going to be putting together the recording that's going to go over basically just how to do that final exam. I'm going to cover it real briefly today. That way you'll know how to do it. So if you don't forget by tomorrow, you won't need to see the recording. All right, so that's a great thing. So that'll give you a boost. They'll let you get in, finish out what you need to finish if you should need to finish anything up. Some people have completed the final exam and have all their assignments up to date, so they are essentially finished with the course. That's okay. I will take care of everything other than that attendance, which actually has to happen after midnight. So I'm going to set the recording up. That email will go out after midnight. The attendance assignment will actually be included in the text of the email. The text that I will send out, I have it set with a delay. It will go out shortly after 9 a.m. What time it actually hits your phone, that's dependent on your carrier. So it will be in that text as well. So open up that email or that text, the assignment in there, go and put that in, get that attendance, be finished with the class. You excited to be finished? You should be. You will have made it. Don't miss out on anything. Don't let the ball drop. Grades are important because it's part of certifications. It's part of your transcript. Places ask for transcripts. They'll ask you to supply that. They'll see what you did in every class. And the reason why they do that is they want to know how you're disciplined, how you did. They also check things like, did you show up for class? Did you have attendance? So that's why attendance is very important in something like this, because they're looking for patterns on what you may have as far as in showing up for work. So there's a method for everything. Remember, underneath this big red help here, right there's your final exam study guide. Click on that to watch it online or click download and it's right there. Okay, we are in week 4, our final week here. We're going to click on that Wednesday. Don't forget your mock interview. Click on that, see how well you did. If you did that, your Q&A informational interview part 2. This is where you're coming in and you're putting in those results that you got back from talking to somebody in management. These informational interviews, these are things that are very key to your career. That is going up and talking to people. Seen some incredible ones. Some people are so fortunate to have people in their lives that can provide a mentorship and guide them. I am so jealous of some of y'all. You had incredible people to talk to, but make sure you have the name and occupation of the person interviewed. Okay, you will lose 10% if you don't put that in there. Make sure what did you learn? What special insight? People who've been in positions, they have things that you don't get just from a classroom. The added information that people like myself are giving, that doesn't come out of the book. We could just hand you the book and say, memorize. There's a reason why we do these live lectures and some people tune them out, but there's pieces of information we're telling you because these things happen on the job and you can either listen or you're going to make mistakes that we made and it could affect you in a negative way, or you can learn from our mistake and move ahead. So this is why we do them. What lessons learned might you incorporate? How might you navigate things a little bit differently knowing these insights? All right. So there's a reason why people have experience and experience tends to pay more. Okay. Today or tomorrow, that career plan, that final project, don't forget, you need to follow this layout, okay? your goals, long-term goals, your skills in here. Note what your positions and salaries are. Those need to be included. This is a high point value assignment, and it carries a big impact weight-wise on your final grades. You can tank more than a letter grade here, depending on where your grade is score-wise, by not following the instructions. Your careers depend on details and following those instructions. In electrical, people die. Don't mess around with that thinner line in those boxes there. We call them the widow makers for a good reason. Details matter. Too much gas, you're going to mess up those welds. You're not going to have those pretty beads. You need to know which temperatures, which gases you use for which metals. Details matter. Okay. If you use the wrong type of ointments on a cat, now you're causing seizures, but they're perfectly fine on a dog. You need to know, did I grab the right one? Did you know you could use these ear drops as eye drops on these animals? These things, everything. When you're given written instructions, and you will be given written instructions, everything's not going to be told to you. Okay. You're going to have to read it and understand it. Follow these. Okay. Development. Okay. If you know certifications you might need, trainings available, list them here. Okay. These are things that you need to put down in here. Action plan, list your short-term goals. Most of these you've already done. This should be something you can knock out pretty quickly if you listened and did those other ones, which all did. Okay, so you've done the hard work here. So you're kind of coasting in here. Then this final exam, you do take the quiz. It tells you right here, 25 questions, 4 points each. Not a lot of questions. Every one of these questions, those answers we covered in the live lectures, and they are in those pages underneath that help. Have that handy. Don't just guess, and definitely do not leave anything empty. Okay. When you get anything that has an answer to put in like this, if you don't know it, go look it up. Okay. Don't sit there and just guess. Look it up. Take the time. Um, Several people did not do the extra credit. That was a half a letter grade advantage to be added on. When given opportunities, uh, take advantage of them. That was a half a letter grade opportunity by providing a photo from your shoulders up called a headshot. Those also benefit you on LinkedIn and bring employers to you. Great way to increase your jobs opportunities. All right. Okay. So that's where we are. That's where you need to be. And we are ready to roll. So we are going to shut off the closed captioning there. And let me take care of the screen display here. Okay, I lost my cursor. I have to figure out which screen my cursor just went to. One second, I'm waiting for it to come back. I have 4 different displays going here. So when something jumps to the wrong display, it does take it a while to come back. I do apologize. Here we go. Our last little smiley face. There we go. All right. Okay. We are all set here. Oops, my screen jumped back again. 1 second here. There we go. Okay. So we're going to talk about identity theft. Everybody's heard about it, but it is important when it comes to looking for a job. So we got to talk about this and how to recognize and report employment scams. It's really big in the Orlando area right now. Okay. People go, they get hired, they do work, and then they realize, okay, not only am I not getting paid for the work I just did, but I've given them my social security number, I've given them names, I've given them this, and now my identity is stolen and things are being purchased and financed. And that's a bad thing. All right. This is happening more and more, and it's bigger in Orlando than a lot of other cities. So when I say Orlando, that means the outlying areas around it as well. We're going to talk about malware. We hear this. Some people don't know exactly what the difference between malware and the other ones. And we're going to talk about what you can do to kind of help yourself out. Okay, you need to protect yourself online just like anywhere. Uh, has anybody experienced identity theft? Or you know people who've had identity theft? It doesn't have to be financial. A lot of people get it on Facebook. They've been cloned, things like that. You see it a lot. So you need to be diligent and you need to pay attention when you're posting your personal information. Be leery of questions. People will say for the passwords, you know, to be able to reset your password, what's your mother's maiden name? What's your favorite movie? Things like that. Everybody's seen these? Yes? You answer these questions? Okay. Here's the simple thing. When they ask you what your mother's maiden name is, don't put your mother's maiden name. Put in things like your favorite colors. Put in, your favorite car. Just because it's telling you to put in your mother's maiden name, it doesn't know what that answer is. Okay. But if you're putting in your mother's maiden name, you're giving that a vital piece of information. If somebody hacks that system, they have information that they can use to open accounts. They have information they can use to buy property, to buy cars. And then that what they're going to do is they are going to list them for quick sales on the internet, sell it at a dirt cheap price, but that loan is still out there in your name and you're responsible. Okay. Just because it tells you answer with this doesn't mean you have to. Everybody understand you have control over what you put in there. You just have to remember what you do. Okay. That is a quick way to stop a lot of this. Has anybody answered these online surveys in Facebook? Uh, you know, what's this? What's that? What's your favorite this? What's that? Blah, blah, blah. You see these online questionnaires and then they encourage you to, everybody on your list to answer these or that. Okay, what they're doing is they want people to fill these out and then they hack somebody's Facebook account. Now, everybody on your list, they've given up information that they're using to figure out people's passwords. Okay, this is a clear way to do this. This information's easy to get. Anybody own a car out there? Anybody own a car? You went out, you bought a car. Okay, car loans are an easy way to get all your information because a lot of this stuff is easy to find in records. So um, let's say Jared's got a car. He's getting down to his last two payments. So I go out, I search, I find out he's got a car loan with Bank of America. And so I hack into Bank of America, find out he's got this car loan. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay Jared's car off. Sounds like I'm a nice guy, right? But there's a thing. I'm going to change all the billing address and everything to mine. And I'm going to have the title mailed to me. Jared doesn't know that his car's been paid off. I paid his car off. I got the title now. I have his car. I've got the information. I'm going to list his car. And what I'm going to do is when I list that car, I'm going to have his car towed. I have the title. I'm going to have the car towed. I'm going to have the car keyed. Now I've got his car. I've got the title. I'm listing it. I sell it. I give the person a title. I give the keys, everything. I've done all this with a burner phone. I've done it with an account, and the person is happy. They got the title, this and that. Meanwhile, Jared's reported the car as stolen. Now I've got the money. I'm nowhere to be found. I could care less about Jared. I could care less about the owner of the car. Now Jared has to prove why somebody has the title of a car that was signed over by somebody named Jared in a cash sale. And he's now trying to fraudulently claim it was stolen. Now the police are investigating Jared. This is what happens. Okay? All too common. Jared was innocent, now he's being investigated. Do you see how quickly and how easily identity theft happens and how it can ruin a life? Now Jared is potentially listed as a fraud. His finances are in trouble, and now he needs law help, and it's going to take him years to repair this, all because he was close to paying off a vehicle. So we have to be careful because some of this comes from when people are applying for jobs. We got to be careful with this. Now, never ever be putting your Social Security on documents except when you're in getting that actual job. Nobody needs that Social Security number out there. Everybody got that. That needs to be kept safe. Okay. Contact the FTC. Everybody hears the FTC, but they don't know that the FTC actually has guidance if you think your identity has been stolen. People think of the FTC as a bad place, or they do this, they do that. They're actually there to help you when your identity's been stolen. The things we know. Okay. Employment scam. This is a big one. So you're going to be going online, seeing all these unfamiliar places and that. So you need to be careful, and you need to know how to recognize some of these scams and these employers. Okay. So you need to watch what they're asking you on their websites and what they're trying to get you to do. Number one, they should not be asking for money. Okay. These places that you need to send money for a test to do this or that. No, you do not pay anybody to get a job. Okay. Don't pay anyone to get a job. Hands up rule. Do not. They are out there just to make money. Okay. Typically, if somebody's asking you for money to get a job, what they're doing is all they're going to do is send you an application that they went over and they got for free somewhere. They go get it for free and then they charge you. All right. So don't do that. When you are looking for them, that address at the top, that URL, okay, check to see if it says HTTP or HTTPS. HTTPS is secure. Okay. If it doesn't have that S, it's not secure. It could be fake. Okay. So that's another thing that you need to start looking for is up there, okay? Right here, okay? And remember, every time you go somewhere, anybody search incognito, they go on the internet, they're in private browsing, they're incognito. Yeah, that doesn't work. I'll tell you right now, I go on the dark web all the time. I do cybersecurity, okay? This is nothing new. Um, I search people down for companies all the time. This is why I tell you, they're going to search. They hire people. I charge $300 an hour to search for people. Okay, flat out, $300 an hour. If I do it for 15 minutes, you pay $300. If I do it for an hour and 5 minutes, you pay $600. Okay, Every system has an IP address. You're not going to get around it. You can go through VPNs, firewalls. We're still going to find you. We're still going to see what you do. Okay. So all those, you know, hiding behind things like that, it's false security. Most typical people won't see it, but you still leave a trail. So just know that if something bad goes down, you've still left a trail. Okay, so just keep yourself clean and you're fine. But if you're doing something that you know you shouldn't, you've got a trail. All right. Secure browsing. When you're out there and you're looking at things on site, this is what I'm talking about. See this HTTPS? Ugh, I just can't say that. This S right here, that is indicating that you are more secure. Okay. Non-legitimate sites cannot get that S in there. They're not listed as a secure site, and but that is not 100% foolproof, but it is a little bit better. Okay. Now, if you are out there and you're using Wi-Fi, everybody likes free Wi-Fi, or Wi-Fi. Some people, like boomers, call it Wi-Fi. Lord forgive them. And but you need to be careful when you type it in, because there will be people that this is the building here, and they're going to set up a van or something out here, and they're going to have a server inside, and they're going to have their Wi-Fi signals going this way out here, waiting for somebody to mistype that Wi-Fi login and password inside that building. And so instead of connecting here, you're going to connect to there. And what they're going to do is they're going to steal all your data while you think you're connecting to the safe one. And what they're going to do is they've got this location here set up with all the most common typos. So be very careful when you're connecting to Wi-Fi hotspots that you have it correct. Verify with the location that you've got the right one, because they've got all the most common mistakes that people make when they are typing things in to catch you. Okay, right here, check to make sure you got the right one and make sure you are legitimately in the right spot. I strongly recommend don't do payments over a free Wi-Fi hotspot. Okay, be careful what you're using that on. Cookies. We all love cookies. Okay. So cookies are that little piece of data that's on your system, and basically it stores things like where you've been so you don't see the same stuff over and over. But sometimes there are other pieces of data depend on the sites, and people want to take those. We call them cookie monsters. They come into your system, they take your cookies, and they pull that data out. They want to know where you've been, what you've been doing. So we track data, okay? Some of the systems I've done, they want to know what you're shopping for. Everybody knows when you go through the stores, they scan things, you use your credit cards, da 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 da. So this is going to probably scare you, freak you out if you haven't realized this. So you go in and you buy gas and you pay for it with a credit card. As soon as that transaction goes through, within seconds, based on your location and your shopping history, we can predict with about an 80% accuracy your next stop that you're going to do, whether it be a store, a restaurant, a gas station, or whatever, the next stop where you're going to shop. And the more you shop and the more you use that card, that accuracy goes up because we track your patterns. Every time you use any type of automated system, you're building a pattern. And the stores all share this data. They swap it, they sell it. Your data is continuously building a transaction on you. So if you use it at Wawa, they can look around and they go, okay, based on this person's transaction, they're either going to go to Walmart and they're going to probably purchase one of the following items, or they're going to look around and they say, most likely you're going to go to this store and purchase these. So they prepare and they start pre-placing orders on merchandise. They may have to restock based on your previous history. They already know before you do. You're not as random as you think. That always freaks me out. I've seen the data, I've helped compile the data, and it still freaks me out. Now, we've heard these terms: phishing, malware, virus, adware, spyware, but we may not know if we're using it correctly or what the difference is. So phishing is where they use emails and fake websites that look real that make you provide information. You'll get an email that says, oh, your account is past due. Click here to go and pay blah, blah, blah. You click on it, but it's not from the company. Never click directly on these to go to the company to pay your information, because what you're going to do is you're not actually going to their site. You're going to a site that looks like their site. Okay. So what you do instead, don't go into the email, actually go into your browser and connect to the site yourself. Then look, and you'll most likely find, no, your account is not past due. One that's really popular right now, if you buy something from Best Buy, you're going to get a phishing email from another place saying that it's Best Buy, there's been a problem with your order. It will have your full order, the item that you're purchasing, everything. It's not them. Call Best Buy and they'll tell you, we don't send emails out. We don't send those. But you click on that, they're going to ask for all your personal information, and then you're going to see a bunch of charges from Best Buy. They're ordering merchandise and it's being billed to you and it's being shipped to unmanned PO boxes. So be careful with those websites, because they'll also do it with employment. They'll say, click here, fill out this form so that we can process da 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 da. Okay. Malware. Okay, malware is software that purposely intended to damage or destroy, but it doesn't spread. You load it up, it destroys your system. Okay. Now, a virus is a little bit different. It does kind of the same thing. Doesn't necessarily damage it to the point where you can't use it, but what it's going to do, it's going to make your system slower or damage it in those kind of ways, but then it wants to spread. So malware stays put and destroys you, but a virus is going to go on and on. Now, adware, uh, you can use the software and it's perfectly fine, not an issue, but you have to put up with the advertising. If you pay for it, they'll take the advertising out. Okay. Now, this is becoming really, really big. Spyware. Anybody have an Xbox or use an Xbox? Some people have Xboxes. Okay. A while back, Xbox had a camera system that, we were all going to sit there and play games in our living room and this and that. Uh, yeah, Microsoft was turning those cameras on and watching people. Workers at Microsoft got bored, and so they're just randomly turning those cameras on and seeing what you were doing in the living room. Spyware is kind of the same way. The difference is it's checking to see what you're doing on your computer, what you're running, what you're doing, what you're storing, and you may or may not know it's there. This has been hitting all kinds of government machines, things like that. Ransomware. It loads itself onto your system and it locks it. And if you don't pay, they're going to erase all your data. They've got it. You want it back, you'll pay for it, just like any other type of ransom. So what could you do to protect yourself? Antivirus software, mobile security. Okay. If you have an Android phone versus an iPhone, you're more likely to get hit by viruses on your phone. It's not because there's a problem with Android phones or they're inferior. The problem is that it's open. An open concept allows more developers than Apple does. Apple's a closed system. Everything has to be approved by Apple. Androids, they don't have as strict of regulation, so you're more likely to get viruses. Run antivirus software. Okay. Most companies that you have your plans through, they will give you the software free. Run it. Use secure passwords. They're a pain, but keep your data safe. Multi-factor authentication. We use that here at STC. That's why you have that authenticator. Keep people from stealing your stuff. Check your settings and back things up. Okay. And this is in your book here, the little plan, basically what we went over. Password strength. We know these things because we use them all the time. The difference between weak and strong. This usually pops up as one of the questions on the final. What is a strong password? Okay, you know, they should be more than 8 characters. Uppercase, lowercase symbols usually makes the stronger ones. All right, everybody good so far? Yes, yes? All right, here we go. Have you ever been hacked or had your identity stolen? If so, how did you fix it? Or what are you doing to keep your identity safe? Need 3 things that you're doing to keep that identity safe, okay? And that is your question for today. And then, like I said, tomorrow it will be the recorded thing and the emails. I want to tell you I'm very proud of the work that you've done. And I want you to continue on and have incredible careers and everything you do. Always put forth your best effort. Don't let people discount you. Know that what you're doing is good and you can do anything you want. Just always put forth your best effort. Always be honest what you do. Even if it's something that you weren't especially proud of, own up to it because that's how you fix it and you go on. Okay? And always be you and do what you want for your career. And that's what will make you happy. All right. And so that's it. And have an awesome time. I'll see you later.